It's a nice Sunday afternoon. I think it's about 60. Got my headphones on. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. Everybody else is in jackets and hats and pants, but I guess I just run hot. I don't know. My wife always says that just being in a room, my presence heats the room up several degrees. So I like to pretend that's her way of saying I'm hot, but I mean, that's just illusion right there, but I'm okay with it. Anyways, I am just about finishing up my hike. I've got maybe half a mile left, and I was thinking about Kristi Noem. That's N-O-E-M, not G-O. Oh, Jesus Christ, I can't even spell. G-N-O-M-E is a much nicer creature than N-O-E-M. But I was thinking about how in the span of maybe not even 2 weeks, her orange Führer was saying how much he loved her job, sort of loved the job she was doing, and she was great, and there was no thought of, changing anything up at DHS, to very quickly firing her ass the second she humiliated herself in an oversight hearing, and also humiliated her poor husband. But honestly, what she does in her extramarital sex life is entirely her business, and her husband's, that's their business. But when you're in government, as Bill Clinton has taught everybody, if you do something wrong, you damn well better not lie under oath about it. And she knew enough to not lie under oath, which was why she went out of her way to dodge in every direction rather than answering the questions. And, with your husband right there, you could lie. You could lie and just say, oh, of course not. I would never do that. But she knew. She knew somewhere in the back of her mind that somebody has proof that that would be a lie. And then she'd be got for perjury. So she didn't say no. But she couldn't say yes, because dear old hubby was right there. So she dodged and humiliated everybody. And then all the questions came out about the hundreds of millions of dollars she has misappropriated. And her orange Führer did not like any of this. So he fired her. And was it in less than an hour, a new position was announced with some bullshit made up crap, Shield of America or some nonsense like that. But that immediately made me think, since Mark Wayne Mullen didn't know that he was replacing Kristi Noem until he saw it on the internet, or maybe it was the reporter, I forget. One of the ways, he certainly was not talked to directly before it got out. However it was, whether it was on the internet or through a reporter, I don't know. I forget. But he didn't know. And the whole Shield of America nonsense was certainly out of the blue after the firing. So I'm thinking someone called her, said, you're fired immediately, effective immediately. And she said, oh yeah, I know some things that you don't want everyone else to know. And they're like, all right, we'll work out a way to pay you. Just keep your mouth shut. So they made up this shield. And that's the shield. In a way, she is the shield. Because she is also the weapon that could be wielded against her orange Führer. So they're paying her off with this laughable little new title. I don't know why it popped into my head. Maybe it was because I was walking down the trail in this really, what's a nice way of putting it? A very obvious MAGA supporter. That's what we'll say. Walked on by, loudly talking on her telephone about, oh gee, I can't wait until they ramp up ICE around here, blah, blah, blah. That's what put it in my head. That's got to be it. But anyways, once I started going down that road with my mind, I immediately realized she's being paid off. And you don't pay off people who don't know something. So she knows something. which means there's something to know. We already know that. None of that's news. But this just further confirms. And, if we were further down, I'd say if the midterms go as bad as they can go, and I think as bad as a lot of people are very worried that they're going to go, after that, people who pull the kind of shit that Kristi did will not be getting fancy new titles that have no real work and just a paycheck. They're going to start to disappear. Or they're going to make themselves disappear because the threats will become much more overt than, here's a paycheck, keep your mouth shut. So, if anybody has ever seen Andor, and I talk about it constantly because I love it, and I think it just becomes more apropos every single day. But if you've ever seen all the way through, and I won't spoil it for those who haven't seen it, but I think if this kind of thing that Kristi pulled happens to somebody else after the midterms, and if the midterms turn out really bad, those people are going to find themselves just like Dedra. Yeah. And if you know, you know. If you don't, watch the show and you'll find out. Because North Korea does it. Russia does it. Several other places do it. Once the Fuhrer has ultimate power, going back to Star Wars again, then you dare not, even if you're a part of the home team, you dare not fuck up. Because the Emperor has ways and places to deal with you. So, Kristi got the best end of this option right now. She got paid instead of disappeared. But unless the only slightly less poisonous establishment Democrats get their shit together, this kind of stuff might start getting more severe by this time next year. God, I hope not. I don't know. Anyway, I'm actually in a good mood, even though some of this stuff is kind of dark. So I'm just going to end it there. I'm going to go home, clean up, make me and my wife some dinner, get ready for the week. I hope you have a nice dinner, whoever's making it. And I hope your week turns out better than Kristi's. Well, I mean, at least as good as Kristi's. Hey, I hope your week turns out just like Kristi Noem's. I hope you get a paycheck for doing absolutely nothing. All right? Have a good day.